Back live at the 4-year Night Talk anniversary party. There's a lot of discussion around town. Who can do the best Sophie Maslow imitation? Is it Jimmy Krenn or is it Sophie Maslow? Let's find out.
You know, I get the honor to do the impression. This is one of the sweetest people I have ever met in my life. I got to tell you, Sophie, you're the best.
Thank you. And he does an imitation of me, and he never improves. He's been doing it for years.
I know. I keep working on it. I'm trying.
I know. Let's hear how I sound.
All right, I'll try.
I just want to wish John McIntire happy anniversary. Thank you very much. That's pretty good.
Getting better. I'm trying.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's look back at some of the incredible highlights from the year past in Night Talk. Take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's commentary. The rock band Chicago once posed the musical question, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? You want to know what time it is? I'll tell you what time it is. It's time not to care. It's time for apathy, lethargy, empty-headed shallowness of the highest order. It's time to pay attention to the art of not paying attention. It is time to harken back to the days when you were a wee lad or lassie and all you cared about was going wee-wee and lassie or whatever other inane TV show tickled your fancy. That, of course, was before you grew up and learned how to tickle your own fancy, before you began to care about something called news. In other news, arrogant, snotty rich kid who did a lot of coke in high school turned congressman and chief fundraiser for congressional Democrats Patrick Kennedy shoved a female security guard in an airport in L.A. a few weeks ago. The video was released this week, and while it shows contact, it seems Kennedy will not face criminal charges. Gee, it's hard to believe that a Kennedy who appeared to commit a crime will get off scot-free. Night Talk has learned that Patrick's father, Senator Ted Kennedy, did query him about the incident. Patrick, were you at least able to cop a feel? Hey, have you heard about all these celebrities who want to be president? Warren Beatty, Donald Trump, now Sybil Shepherd? Did you hear that someone even suggested that animal rights activist, Baywatch babe, porno queen, and abused spouse Pamela Anderson, my breasts are smaller than they used to be, but they're still whoppers, and have you seen my husband's giant wee-wee Lee? They even suggested her? Why are we limiting the field to just actors and businessmen? How about expanding the field since the presidency is apparently something any old Jughead can do? In fact, how about Jughead the cartoon guy for president? Or better yet, Fred Flintstone? Wilma, when's that ABM treaty done? You know, it's not like the presidency is a complicated job or requires any special expertise or anything. It's not like you have to know anything about East Timor or Kosovo or Outer Mongolia. If Clinton could have just stayed Outer Mongolia, he'd have been worth something. But how much credibility do these celeb prez wannabes have? Warren Beatty, semi-liberal who's done complicated period flicks like Reds and frivolous sex romps like Shampoo. Beatty would at least be able to negotiate a decent arms treaty because after Ishtar, he's clearly an expert on bombs. But if you've ever heard him speak, he's got that halting delivery and rambling presentation that would render him ineffective on the stump. Not to mention that he spent his whole life chasing chicks, and we're a little burnt out on chick chasers. The time has come to elect a president for the new millennium who lacks even a hint of sexuality, and that's why I'm backing Al Gore. Sybil Shepherd. Here is a classic, fairly bright, but not nearly as bright as she thinks she is, Hollywood do-gooder. Plus, if you're an actor and you're running for president, shouldn't you at least have to be a good actor? Well, not necessarily, no. Although, frankly, I've forgotten. All right, there's a guy, he says he was an intern on Evening Magazine when you worked there. He wants to know if you remember him. They called him Spaz.
I thought I was Spaz.
Oh, Jagoff. Two guys in the control room say you got to use the phrase Jagoff more.
I do use Jagoff on TV, and people always look at me like I'm from Mars, but Jagoff is a great word.
Now, by the way, Jimmy Krenn told me to say hello.
Ah, Jimmy, how's he doing? He's still the big hot thing there, right?
He's the big kahuna. He had a partner named Paulson, and Paulson left, so now he's like the big kahuna.
Paulson's sort of Sancho Panza to his Don
Exactly.
Quixote?
He was more of the dry, acerbic, allegedly more cerebral guy.
Allegedly. Johnny Mac!
All right.
Shooting the subtle zingers in back there.
Rick Rockwell, the legendary, the one, the only, the lovely, the talented. So if you're a millionaire and a multimillionaire, and I know people have asked you this as well, what the hell are you doing working at the Funny Bone? Not that that's not a respectable form of making a living.
Well, I think people think you're making $50 a night or you're working doing stand-up comedy, and it's actually, you know, once you get to the point where you're a national headliner, which I've been doing for 18 years, you know, there's some decent money in this.
A lot of people have characterized you as an insincere jerk or part of some horrible...
Wait, who are those people? Give me their addresses.
I don't know.
Give me a pen.
I don't know. I don't have, even if we have on this show, I don't have the guts to admit it. But...
Not to my face.
Not exactly.
Anyway,
when
yeah.
you leave, then we'll make a... Yeah. Do you regret in retrospect that you didn't, that the title of the show wasn't Who Wants to Marry a Multimillionaire and Have Sex with Him? So it would be like built right in there, and there would be no questions later.
That would certainly be one of the things I'd build into the contract next time, yeah.
Being in the media, I have to try to whip up the feud. Again, as you know, it's a law.
Stir that pot, my man.
Can you say anything more negative about her?
You know,
come on.
You know, I really.
This is the time to let loose.
The interesting thing about
you need to
that
drain your fluids.
Purge.
Yes. Something like that.
It's.
So are you going to be checking out the chicks tonight at the Funny Bone and, you know, everywhere else while you continue your short stay in Pittsburgh?
You know, that's really patently unfair, John.
Dr. Nancy Snyderman from Good Morning America or 2020 or many other prominent big-time ABC News programs, but her humble beginnings were right here in Pittsburgh.
Do you feel sorry for Bryant Gumbel?
No, he's a big boy. I know Bryant. I like him very, very much. But do I feel sorry for him? No.
Now, I don't want to necessarily get it. If there are any nasty little details about, because you've been married 3 times.
Yes.
By the way, I'm divorced. So
I just called my ex-husband, though, from the lunchroom over there.
He lives here?
Yes, I'm having breakfast with him tomorrow morning.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's a great guy.
We don't need to read anything more into that, though.
No, I'm going to see his wife tonight.
Okay, good. All right, good. But anyway, being somebody dealing with the pressures of television and divorce.
And being interviewed by you.
You can, yeah. But you can relate to Bryant, I would assume, going through all of this, to some extent, of stuff he's going through now.
Oh, yes. Well, with a $5 million paycheck, it hopefully takes some of the sting out of Bryant's problems, but...
Nobody likes Bryant, do they? Not the viewers, not,
well,
not his
colleagues. Well, here's the problem. Bryant is seen as very arrogant. I have no idea what he's like to work with. But as a dinner companion, someone to sit next to at a cocktail party, I would take Bryant Gumbel any day. Great guy.
He didn't hit on you or anything, though?
No, he's a real professional.
Well, your husband was there.
No, I'm a big girl. I can take care of myself.
I believe you. I wasn't implying otherwise.
No, Gumbel's a real professional. He wouldn't do that.
All right, but you're all dancing on his grave, basically, now.
We're dancing on their show's grave.
There you go. That's the spirit.
We've actually been on the air for 3 freaking years in a row, and what that means is that somebody is asleep at the management wheel.
William J. Green is a highfalutin political consultant. He's got big shot offices down here at Gateway Center. It's on the 23rd floor, and he busts into our Night Talk offices all the time. The inaugural episode of Busted on the Big Shot, Bill. Boom, we're live on tape on PCNC. Do you work for Bill Green?
I try to work for Bill Green.
Is he a tyrant? Is he an ogre?
Only occasionally.
He puts the moves on you every now and then, does he?
Only.
Does he have you dress in scantily clad outfits and sashay around?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. Because he used to try that with that guy down the hall. And
when you frequently watch Tom Brokaw on NBC Evening News, they often say, and sitting in for Tom Brokaw is, well, tonight Arlen Specter is sitting in for John McIntire to disclose that John's secret ambition has always been to be United States Senator.
Actually, Senator, my secret ambition has always been to be Tom Brokaw, not a United States Senator. So the 4th Tom Brokaw. We have Tom Brokaw number 1. Say something.
Living in leftist guerrillas from aboard the Kelly Laurel.
And we have Tom Brokaw number 2.
Good evening, Tom Brokaw number 2.
And we have
ready to talk to Tom Brokaw.
We have Tom Brokaw number 3. And then perhaps the most masterful Tom Brokaw of all.
I don't know.
From David Johnson, the more Mr. Brokaw number 4.
Good evening, Tom Brokaw, NBC Nightly News.
Now, watch the way he does his head up and down like that. That's what's uncanny.
Yes.
I was having a difficult time, and I came in and I got your book, Angel Therapy.
Okay, they show me that you've got an interest in acquiring a lot of cash, and that you're simply frustrated that it's not here yet. And that's
psychic.
And that's why you're thinking that they're not hearing you. But it's going to be involving the computer with you alone. There's something involving the computer and you alone.
Oh man, you're not looking at that, are you? Oh, in the future with the cash. I'm sorry. Okay, good. Here's.
Why should I take attacks from insignificant imbeciles like that? Yes, he is an a-hole and a lot worse. And if I saw him right here, I'd call him a lot more. Some choice words that I learned at 5th Avenue High School that are a lot worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him out. Here he is. No, we don't have him. All right, let me take a break. But please, somebody's got to save us. Save us, please, from this syrupy, sappy, sanitized Tim and Lassie, Ozzie and Harriet, Wally and the Beaver, apple pie a la mode and a glass of milk, pure as the driven snow, Donnie and Marie, Pat Boone, Boy Scout, all-inclusive, unintrusive, smiling, gaggle of giggling, goody two-shoes, goody gumdrops, phony baloney, lying, hypocritical bozos.
Ooh. And sound effect by Anchorman David Johnson.
Hey, impeach this. Actually, maybe that's what they should have done. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the interns bite.